Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal will formally announce deal for £200,000 a week star at the Emirates. Arsenal centre-back William Saliba's new contract should be formally announced at the Emirates Stadium soon. Sky Sports reporter Dharmesh Sheth has told GIVEMESPORT Mikel Arteta will be delighted to see one of his key players commit his long-term future to the Gunners during the summer transfer window. According to Sky Sports, Saliba has agreed to a new deal in principle with Arsenal, tying him to the Emirates Stadium until 2027, with his current £40,000 per week contract set to expire next summer. The Sun reports that the defender has agreed to a salary worth £200,000 per week after enjoying somewhat of a breakthrough campaign in North London. It comes as a relief for the Gunners after Manchester United and Bayern München had expressed an interest in securing his services. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano has recently told GiveMeSport that it's now just a matter of signing the contract for Saliba, who has become a key player in Arteta's side this season, and Sheth has claimed that a new deal is agreed in principle and confirmation is expected soon. Arsenal reached decision on Smith Rowe after talks. The Daily Mail report that Emile Smith Rowe has been informed by Arsenal that he is in Mikel Arteta's plans for the 23-24 campaign, and the Gunners intend to keep him around this summer. Smith Rowe has been linked with West Ham, and the Hammers reportedly do admire the player. Aston Villa and Brighton are two other Premier League clubs with an interest, but the midfielder is currently set to stay at Arsenal following his conversations with the club on a potential swap deal with West Ham for Declan Rice. Fabrizio Romano had previously reported that Arsenal weren't interested in including Smith Rowe in their proposal. This isn't the first we have heard that Smith Rowe is set to stay, as David Ornstein recently reported that Arsenal have no intention to sell him this summer. The midfielder still has a contract until 2026, and he remains an important part of Mikel Arteta's plans despite his minimal role for the club this season. Ornstein reports that Arsenal are hoping Smith Rowe shines at the Under-21 European Championships and in pre-season before having a big season in 23-24. Smith Rowe has made 15 appearances for Arsenal this season amid injury setbacks, providing one assist in the comeback win over Bournemouth and another on the final day of the season against Wolves. For the time being, Smith Rowe's focus is on the Under-21 Euros, having now been named in the England Under-21 squad for the competition this summer. The event kicks off on June 21st, and England could still be in the tournament until July 8th if they make it all the way to the final. Inter Milan set to make formal move to sign Arsenal 21-year-old. Dharmesh Sheth of Sky Sports reports that Inter Milan are interested in signing Folarin Balogun from Arsenal this summer, and they are expected to make a formal approach for the striker. Sheth adds that Balogun is believed to want a permanent move away from Arsenal for regular first-team football, with 2 years left on his contract, but the final decision remains with Arsenal. Italian outlet La Gazzetta dello Sport reported earlier this week that Inter Milan sporting director Piero Osilio was in London on Wednesday to conduct a series of meetings. Osilio reportedly tested the waters for Folarin Balogun, with Arsenal demanding a fee in the region of €40 million. Balogun is viewed as a potential replacement for Eden Dzeko, and Inter would ideally like to sign him on loan, but Arsenal aren't interested in that option. David Ornstein previously reported that Balogun himself doesn't want to go on loan again anyway. John Cross recently wrote for The Mirror that Napoli were ready to compete in the race to sign Balogun, as they are potential replacement for Victor Osimhen this summer. So it seems Inter will have competition from within Serie A. Plenty of clubs appear to be interested in a move for Balogun, with the Athletic also linking AC Milan, Leipzig, Marseille and Monaco to the striker. Leipzig are seemingly fading from the race, with Philipp Hansi of Sky Sport Germany reporting that a Leipzig transfer for Balogun is currently unlikely. Hansi claimed that if Arsenal insist on a transfer fee of 40 million euros plus add-ons, Leipzig would refrain from making a move for Balogun this summer. Reports from Italy in recent weeks revealed that Balogun is a popular option at Milan, with Arsenal open to offers, and the Mirror also highlighted Milan's interest. Milan are expected to have a 50 million euros budget on top of any money they generate through sales, and a significant proportion of that money is set to go towards a new striker. Balogun recently scored his 21st and final goal of the League One season, bringing him to 22 goals in all competitions. The striker's spell on loan to Stade de Reims has been impressive, and he has also recently made his debut for the United States. Bukayo Saka's agent could now help Arsenal sign £45 million midfielder. Arsenal have reportedly turned their attention to Romeo Lavia, and the young midfielder is represented by the same agent as Bukayo Saka. The Gunners are being very active in this summer's transfer window. They have already tabled bids for both Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, and it looks like they will make a move for another talented player soon. The Guardian reported yesterday that Lavia is a target for Arsenal now, and journalist Saja Tavolieri has shared the latest on the situation. Arsenal sporting director Edu Gaspar is a busy man these days. The Brazilian is working extremely hard to strengthen Mikel Arteta's side in this window, and midfield remains their priority. Rice is the top target, and many believed Moses Caicedo was the other name on the list. Arsenal, however, withdrew their interest in the Ecuador international, and the Guardian claimed that Romeo Lavia is the man they are trying to bring in. He is reportedly valued at £45 million. Now, Tavolieri has backed that claim. He revealed yesterday that Arsenal's interest is real, and the Gunners could have an edge in the race to sign him because of Emeka Obasi, the agent who represents Lavia, and also Bukayo Saka, who signed a big new contract just a few days ago. The journalist tweeted, Emeka Obasi's persuasive power inside Arsenal has been increasing after Bukayo Saka renewal, and these relationships could give a little advantage to push Arsenal Lavia's deal. Interest is real, but I understand that Chelsea, who met fathers Lavia, still believe in his chances, he said. Emeka Obasi's Elite Project Group Limited represents a number of top Premier League players. Saka, as we told you, is one of them, while Jadon Sancho, Edin Ketia, Folarin Balogun, and Axel Iwobi are all on their client list as well. Romeo Lavia, too, is represented by Obasi, and the agent's strong relationship at Arsenal, which has apparently grown following Saka's contract extension, could prove to be really beneficial. Lavia, who has been branded as an incredible player, would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal this summer. Arsenal are ready to push harder than Man United to sign a brilliant £50 million Premier League player. Mark Guehi is one of the brightest young defenders in England, and he is attracting interest from many of the Premier League's top clubs. According to The Independent, Manchester United are very interested in signing Guehi if Harry Maguire departs, but this report also states that the Red Devils' interest in the Crystal Palace defender isn't as strong as Arsenal's. Indeed, Arsenal are apparently ready to push harder than United to go and sign the £50 million player this summer. It has to be said that Guehi would be a brilliant addition to this Arsenal side. Not only would he add more depth in what proved to be a serious problem position last season as a centre-back, Guehi would also fit into the Gunners' young English core of talent. With the likes of Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, and Emile Smith Rowe already at the club, Arsenal already have the potential spine of the England team for years to come, and Guehi would only add to that mix. The Palace centre-back has been described as brilliant for a reason. Not only does he have the pace and the strength to go toe-to-toe with any striker in the Premier League, he is also a decent enough ball player and an emerging leader. Arsenal will have something of a leadership void at the club once Granit Xhaka completes his long-awaited move to Bayer Leverkusen, and Gehi could be the perfect type of player to step in and be that real general on the pitch. As always, getting a deal done with a Premier League rival over a star asset isn't easy, but if Arsenal can get a deal for Gehi over the line, it will be more than worth their while. Premier League forward wants to sign for Arsenal instead of Bayern München. Chelsea star Kai Havertz wants to stay in the Premier League and sign for Arsenal instead of joining German champions Bayern München this summer. The Gunners have been very active in this transfer window. Declan Rice is their priority, and they have already made a bid to sign him. The surprise target, however, is Havertz. Edu has tabled a bid to sign him as well. Arsenal face competition from Bayern München for Havertz's signature this summer, and Christian Falk has some good news for the Gunners. Here is what he wrote in his column on Caught Offside. Nobody really expected Arsenal or any other big club to be interested in signing Kai Havertz this summer. The German has been really poor for Chelsea over the last 3 years. Yes, he scored the winner in the Champions League final against Manchester City, but he hasn't done much else, has he? However, Real Madrid, Bayern München, and Arsenal all still see something in him that they think is really good, and Mikel Arteta is keen to sign him this summer. Thomas Tuchel, who managed Havertz at Chelsea and compared him to Dennis Bergkamp, wants him too, but Falk has claimed that the German forward prefers a move to Arsenal in the coming days. He said, "Another name being discussed in the corridors of power in München is an interesting one for both Chelsea and Arsenal, Kai Havertz. Thomas Tuchel is considered a big supporter of Kai Havertz, and the German striker's name was also mentioned at the recent task force meeting. However, Havertz is said to prefer a move to Arsenal if Real Madrid don't intensify their interest in him. Havertz is a very good player, but we think he has been wrongly used at Chelsea. The German, branded as outstanding by Joey Cole, has played half of his games for the Blues as a centre forward. It's a position he can play in, but we don't think that's the best role for him at all. If Arsenal get him, we think Mikel Arteta will use him as a left-sided number 8, the same position Granit Xhaka thrived in last season. It will be interesting to see how Havertz will fare at Arsenal if they can sign him in the coming days. Arsenal showing most interest in incredible Manchester City player. Arsenal have been quite busy in the transfer market in recent days. The Gunners are reportedly in talks for both Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Now, journalist Rudy Galetti has provided a bit of an update on Arsenal's interest in Joao Cancelo. The Gunners have been linked with the Manchester City ace in the past few days. Arsenal had some problems at fullback last season, and Kieran Tierney is now being linked with a move away. Meanwhile, Cancelo's future at City is uncertain, spending the second half of last season on loan at Bayern München. Despite this, the Portuguese enjoyed a super personal campaign, getting two league winners' medals. The incredible Cancelo looks like he can have his pick of some of the world's greatest teams too. Galetti, taking to Twitter, claimed Arsenal and Barcelona have shown the most interest in the 29-year-old. City are also open to letting him go, and the race is very much open and evolving, added Galetti. Spanish outlet Sport recently reported that Cancelo could leave this summer for around 40 million euros. When a player of Cancelo's quality become reportedly available, there will always be a lot of interest, as well as the Gunners and Barca. The likes of Bayern München and Real Madrid are reportedly also in pursuit. 90-minute report. Cancelo, who was hailed as one of the best fullbacks in the world, would be a huge signing for Arsenal. At the same time, you have to wonder whether City will strengthen a direct title rival once again. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.